evening, this is the Vsb Tv 11 News for Thursday, August 28th. I'm Peter Cattell. Our top story: faced by the startling fact that 25% of Bermuda's population suffer from degrees of mental illness and yet have no protection against discrimination, the Human Rights Commission is planning to devote the next 18 months to producing legislation that will protect all with disabilities, mental or physical. Chairman Michael Hansen finds it astonishing that the situation has not been tackled before.
It's a difficult one. Mental disability is something that people often don't like to talk about, but they are the most vulnerable people, amongst the most vulnerable people in our society, and as such they really should be getting the protection of the Act like other groups. The key question, or the key thing to change, is currently it just says physical disability. Right? And what we want to do is change that to just say disability, basically, and have, those who have long-term mental, physical, all encompassed in, so everyone is protected. Because as I say, it's quite astounding if you think about it, that here we are 30 years later, and we still don't have protection for these people under the Human Rights Act.
Two fellow commissioners, Louis Sumner and Joanna Tannock, also brought up the need to protect a number of new categories, of which mental illness was the most important.
Mental health illness in Bermuda is very concerning to myself and most of all of the commissioners here, and it's time that we, as a commission, I guess, get a grassroots campaign going out there so people can be told the real need for this to be put into the Human Rights Act. Certainly, I think the chairman spoke on it earlier. I think this must be the only jurisdiction that has legislation for human rights with nothing in it for people to suffer from mental illness. And I think it just needs to be addressed so people are protected. The protection is needed for them, whether they are fighters, suffer from depression or whatever. As a group, they need to be included with some form of protection.
I think that what Mike is saying is that there are some instances, which will be on a case-by-case basis, where there may be that there is no accommodation that could be made that is not unreasonable to the employer or the... so perhaps this person may not be able to be employed, but they would still be protected under the Act. It's a spectrum. It's a very broad spectrum. I think we always go to the visible. So the people with schizophrenia who may present signs of having some type of visible mental illness, but there is a spectrum.
The motorcyclist who was killed on a West Sussex country road on Sunday after a collision involving a car driven by a 69-year-old Bermudian from Southampton has been named by the police. He is 20-year-old William Philip Ruwell of Billingshurst, whose Honda motorcycle collided with a Volvo driven by the Bermudian male. The driver has since been arrested on suspicion of causing death by dangerous driving and has been bailed to appear at the West Sussex court on September the 1st. His female companion, also Bermudian, has been released from hospital after suffering a broken collarbone and whiplash. The parents of the dead youth paid tribute to their only son and described him as a beautiful young man. The visit to Bermuda of Serbia's Crown Prince Alexander and his wife Princess Catherine has caught the unsympathetic eye of the country's independent newspaper, Serbian Daily. Today's edition accuses the royal couple of fleeing to the exotic island of Bermuda to avoid facing up to the fact they owe the equivalent of $69,000 in unpaid electricity bills for the White Palace and the palace in which they live. The paper points out that the taxpayer has already paid $2.5 million to partly restore the buildings, while the Ministry of Culture pays the couple $500,000 a year for continued maintenance. The paper describes the unpaid electricity bills as shocking. The article then gives an account of how the couple had stayed at the Hamilton Princess Hotel while catching up with their friendships with Lully Gibbons, wife of the late Sir David Gibbons, and local businessman Peter Green. In answer to an approach by a local group of citizens concerned at the issues presented by the introduction of smart meters by local utilities, and Belco's revelation that it too is looking in that direction, Defence Broadcasting has arranged to screen the controversial, award-winning documentary Take Back Your Power on Channel 11 television at 8:30 p.m. on Friday, August 29th. The 80-minute film, produced and directed by Josh Del Sol, lays out the reasons why hundreds of city councils all over North America have banned the introduction of the smart meters, which are said to send out harmful radio waves during their 24-hour coverage of the average home. Vsb News' Brian Darby asked Mr. Del Sol what the reaction had been to his film.
There's groups now in almost every state in the United States and almost every province in Canada and around the world. There's a national political party that's formed in Australia. And stopping smart meters is at the very, very top of their agenda. In the UK, the information is coming out, and we were just actually featured in Der Spiegel in Germany a couple weeks ago. So this is becoming a very hot topic, and no pun intended on the word hot either, because there's been fires that have been associated with these things, and there's actually been 3 major recalls just within the past 2 months alone. So the other thing too is they're part of a scheme to charge people more for electricity, and it's not just electricity; it's water and gas. You know, when there's gas networks as well. So it gives the utility the ability to charge what's called time of use billing. So they will charge more for using energy or water or gas during peak hours, and you know, your bills are resultantly going to be increasing dramatically. And
so anyone who values their health should watch your film tomorrow night.
And health is the other issue you wouldn't even talk about. Yes, there are major health implications, and many people are reporting illnesses from the pulsed microwave radiation and from the voltage transients which are created. And all of this is explained. We have interviews with several dozen experts and witnesses and whistleblowers, and our intention is just to blow the issue wide open, to put some actual facts and truth out there, so that you, the viewer, can make an informed decision whether you want to allow this locally. Many places are not allowing it. Dozens and dozens and hundreds of local governments now all over North America and elsewhere are saying no to these things and taking a stand against it.
Nearly $500,000 have been invested in Bermuda's Hospitality and Tourism Studies Scholarship by Royal Caribbean International. Today, 8 students join close to 100 others in receiving RCI funding to pursue careers in the hospitality industry. Acting Tourism Minister Patricia Gordon-Pamplin presented awards to the students, including Taryn Burgess-Eming and Ramsey Sagar, both of whom are pursuing educational goals overseas.
Indeed, each of you young people has to be celebrated on being the recipients of the 2014 Bermuda Hospitality and Tourism Studies scholarships. This wonderful achievement is a testament of your personal effort and your commitment. Through the generosity of one of our most respected and valued tourism partners, Royal Caribbean International, this scholarship is a tremendous support to those students in furthering their studies in tourism and related fields. The government is committed to the future of Bermuda tourism, and we believe that the future lies with our young talent here at home. The Bermuda Department of Tourism Development will continue to do its part to develop and support these future leaders, because we take that role very seriously. Bermuda is worth it. I just want you guys to know that you've chosen an absolutely incredibly laudable path down which you've chosen to go in order to be able to serve your country, hopefully, ultimately, and maybe somewhere in the interim, having the opportunity to do have international exposure. So Bermuda is worth it, and I just want to share that with you.
I'm so blessed to have this, and now I'm one step closer to my dream job, which is in Dubai. I want to join the Fairmont Leadership Development Program to better my skills and knowledge at the same time, and then go on to do my future goal.
I'm currently going into my 2nd year at Niagara College, and it's been a really good experience so far. And essentially, once I graduate, I'd like to find myself in a position within the hotel industry or even the tourism industry, just covering fields like product development, just to help the island become better as we go.
Still ahead on the TV 11 News is Rachel with the weather preview.
Thanks, Peter. Winds decreasing overnight. On the radar, you can see we do have a little bit of residual moisture from Cristobal, so we might get a shower overnight. But please stay tuned for the full weather report as we take a closer look at the Labor Day weekend.
The weather radar picture provided courtesy of the Ministry of Transport on Vsb Tv 11.
Barbecue this Labor Day holiday. Purdue Fresh Value Pack chicken thighs, only $1.99 per pound. Save $2 on red ripe seedless watermelons, just $12.99 each. Select varieties of Kraft barbecue sauce, only $1.79 for an 18-ounce bottle. All varieties of Wise potato chips, $1.59 for a 3.75-ounce bag. Heinz squeeze ketchup, only $4.59 for a 32-ounce bottle. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more weekly specials.
Bermuda is an easy way to find great discounts while discovering fun activities to do in Bermuda.
Discover the best spas, restaurants, activities, services, and shops at 50% off.
Sign up to Bermuda and start saving today.
Buying a new bike? Go with the company that offers brand name quality and great after-sales service. Oleander Cycles. Whether you're a daily commuter looking for a reliable ride, or business owner sourcing wheels for your delivery team, you'll find bikes to suit your needs at Oleander Cycles. Oleander carries quality bikes from respected manufacturers PGO and TGB, and a full line of accessories from helmets to top boxes and baby seats. Just as important as the bike is the service behind it. Oleander delivers with 7-day-a-week service in our 4 locations, same-day service with appointment, an extensive inventory of parts, and a 6-month warranty on new bikes. Visit our Hamilton or Paget showroom today. Best bikes, best service, Oleander Cycles.
Fairmont Southampton Princess's $11 million expenditure is part of a master plan to keep the hotel competitive. And Regional Director of Sales and Marketing, Shelley Mesley, says there are plans in the works to keep the 42-year-old property at the top of its game.
That's only one phase of staying competitive. There's a number of things that we have to do to stay competitive. But first, the room products. So we've done 230 rooms. We have another 172 happening this winter. And the first 4 floors, corridors, all the corridors, so in essence, floors 1 to 4 will be completely remodeled. But it's more than just rooms, right? Our staff, our salespeople, the food and beverage offering. There's a number of different areas that we have to make sure that we're the best. We've moved along with what our customers are asking us for, but always making sure that we keep the Bermudian classic hospitality in the right place. I'm actually very fortunate with our sales and marketing team. We have, I think, the newest person that's selling the 2 hotels here, the 2 Fairmonts here, has been with us for 5 years. All the other ones have been with us longer. They do an incredible job. They're here regularly. They spend their vacations here. They go out and experience the hotel to make sure that they're up on the product. Our global sellers, we're about to host all of our global sellers here the first week of October so that they experience it, and we make sure we do that regularly. We also provide updates to them on, what's happening here. Hamilton Princess has so much to talk about right now. We have our renovation to talk about, and they bring clients here regularly.
Now, are you folks working in sync with the Bermuda Tourism Authority?
Absolutely, every day.
Premier Michael Dunkley has joined the producers and cast of Troika Bermuda's upcoming production of Disney's Beauty and the Beast in calling on the public to support the project, which kicks off its 3-night run at the Ruth-seated James Auditorium tonight. As the Premier purchased a tag day ticket from Troika cast members, organizer Shoa Bean spoke to Vsb News about the overseas team that has helped the Bermudians strive for the standard now expected from Troika.
So the director is Mr. Steve Huntsman. He hails from Las Vegas, and he is someone that's, we call him somewhat of a one-man show. He directs, he paints, he designs costumes, he does it all. He's been a joy to work with, and we definitely thank and appreciate him coming to Bermuda and bringing his talent and bringing his staff with him to make this all happen.
Up till now, you've done something every other year, haven't you?
Well, actually, we've done something every year. We just missed last year because we actually had the opportunity to go to perform at the National Black Theater Festival in Winston-Salem last year in North Carolina, and the kids did awesome. As a matter of fact, I believe they want us to come back in 2015, so that's something we're looking forward to as well. But we've been going at it every year, and they've just grown and grown and made it bigger and better every year. So we're proud of them. Our community is not, all the bad kids. No. And sometimes we focus on that sometimes, and so this time we've now given the stage and given the spotlight to some of our young people that are involved in something positive and doing something positive for themselves.
Tickets?
Tickets are on sale at ptix.bm. They can also call 278-1500 if you would like to do your tickets over the phone. And tickets are available 24 hours, 7 days a week. And they'll also be available at the box office before the show, if it's not sold out prior to that. Because when we did Once on This Island 2 years ago, it was basically sold out and people were trying to get tickets at the last minute. So I would say do not wait to get your tickets. Get them now.
Now, here's a look at the daily markets, presented by Bias.
Here are the daily markets presented by Bias. Renewed tensions in Ukraine sent most global equity indices lower as investors flocked to safe haven assets like treasuries and the Japanese yen. Disappointing retail earnings results and fresh tensions in Ukraine caused an equity sell-off on North American exchanges. The Dow closed down 25 basis points, while the Toronto Stock Exchange fell 0.29%. The Bermuda Stock Exchange was down 1.85% to close at 1,386.61. Shares of Keytech declined 3.41%, while Montpelier Re gained on the day, closing 0.64% higher after trading. European indices fell in line with those in North America amid renewed geopolitical tension arising between Russia and the Ukraine. The German DAX fell 1.12%, and the Italian index ended the day 2.03% lower. Asian markets sold off as well amid the global turmoil and renewed concerns that new IPOs in China would divert funds from existing stocks. The Shanghai index fell 0.62% and the Hang Seng lost 71 basis points on the day. The global sell-off extended into indices in Latin America, with the Brazilian Bovespa falling most by 0.89%, ending the rally we have seen in the last few days. Rising global tensions sent bond yields lower across the board amid safe haven demand. The Treasury 30-year bond fell another 2 basis points today to yield 3.08%, while the German 10-year closed to yield 2.37%. Most major currencies strengthened against the US dollar, with the exception of the euro amid the escalating situation in Ukraine. The yen and the Aussie dollar, typically seen as safe haven currencies, rose about 20 basis points each by the end of trading. That was a look at the daily markets presented by Bias. There's more news after the break.
Save 50 cents on imported ripe mangoes this Labor Day holiday, just $1.49 each. Certified Angus beef tucked sirloin steaks, $8.99 per pound. All varieties of Breyer's ice cream, just $6.29 for a 48-ounce tub. Select varieties of Gain 2X laundry detergent, only $7.99 for a 50-ounce bottle. All varieties of Yoplait yogurt, just $1.09 for a 6-ounce tub. Have a safe and happy Labor Day holiday from the marketplace.
update to comfort that's unique to the way you sleep. Update to the latest iComfort sleep system by Serta, featuring our first memory foam with dual-action gel technology, designed from the surface to the core for enhanced cooling comfort and individualized support. Update to iComfort.
The iComfort Sleep System by Serta, available only at Big Savings Zone, Bermuda's exclusive Serta Mattress Gallery.
Hi, I'm Peter Javetic, host of Season to Taste. Tune in on Tuesday night during the Vsb Tv 11 News, where I'll be here with Chef Tammy Jones. She's going to be preparing this beautiful dish of Asian chicken breast and vegetables, and find out what the Gosling's Wine of the Week is.
Tuesday during the Vsb TV 11 News.
Earl Baisden is up next with the Sports Report.
17-year-old high jump competitor Janai Parentchief held the Bermuda flag during the closing ceremony of the Youth Olympic Games in Beijing, China. Parentchief finished as Bermuda's highest competitor, and he finished 8th in the men's high jump A final. The 2014 HSBC Bermuda International Junior Golf Classic continued at the Mid-Ocean Golf Club yesterday in hot and humid conditions, although quite breezy. After 2 rounds in the boys' 13 to 15 age group division, 4 strokes are now separating first and third. Dakota Lamb shot a second round 83 and has an overall total of 159. Kerry Swan shot an 84 and is at 160. Brady Cordero shot an 84 and currently sits at 163. Elizabeth Parsons leads the girls' division after shooting a second round 84 and has an overall score of 165, while Gear Valaquenta sits with 191. Kenny Lejour is leading the Open Red Division with a second round 84, which puts him at 174. Vanna Valaquenta is in second with 179, and Alex Withers Clark is in third with 194. The Bermuda Tourism Authority will be sponsoring the 2015-2016 Bermuda Marathon weekend, the first time the BTA has signed a multi-year deal under the new Tourism Experience Investment Program. The 2015 Bermuda Marathon weekend will take place January 16th through to the 18th. Rain showers delayed the start for Day 3 of the 2014 International Tennis Federation's Grand Slam Development Fund 12 and Under Championship Team Round-Robin stage going on in St. Lucia. Eventually, the rain eased and there was sufficient break to get some of the matches in. Bermuda got on court late in the afternoon. They took on Guyana. Ben Jones defeated Antoine Andreas 4-love. Then Trey Mallory defeated Vijay Sharma 4-love, 4-1. In the doubles, Jones and Mallory won 4-love. Bermuda will now face Jamaica in their semifinal. 2 Bermuda squash players appeared on the Caribbean Area Squash Association's end of tournament rankings for 2014. Rachel Barnes is on the women's side. She is ranked 9th in the region, while on the men's side, Micah Franklin is ranked 5th. He finished the men's quarterfinals, going down to Jamaica's Christopher Barney, who ended up winning the CASA Senior Men's Tournament. In his latest match, Kamal Lavrock and his Horsham Cricket Club First 11 teammates took on Ruffey Cricket Club's First 11 in a Sussex Cricket League First 11 Premier match. Ruffey won the toss and elected to bat. They were bowled all out for 115. Lavrock, who shared the new ball, finished with figures of 7 overs, 1 maiden, none for 15. He did manage to hold on to a catch. In reply, Horsham scored 116 for 4, with Lavrock not required to bat. I'm Earl Baisden reporting for VSB Sports.
What I'm finding is that these smart meters are emitting radiation every few seconds.
These things that they're installing would allow them to control every appliance in your house.
Take back your power. Investigating the Smart Grid. Friday at 8:30 p.m. on VSB TV 11.
Open 9 to 7, Monday to Saturday, on 41 Victoria Street in Hamilton, for your home appliance and hardware needs. Sears, washers and dryers, refrigerators and freezers, gas ovens and electric ranges, a large array of Craftsman tools and accessories, lawn and garden tools, fitness equipment, outdoor furniture, barbecue grills, and much, much more. Open 9 to 7, Monday to Saturday. Sears, bringing Bermuda the best variety at everyday low prices.
Copyfax is Samsung's authorized dealer service center in Bermuda. If you're looking for a tablet, Copyfax have a range of Samsung's Tab 3, 5 and 7. They have Samsung's ATIV Book, which has a 15.6-inch screen. And the ATIV One computer has a 24-inch touch screen. Be sure you're buying from an authorized Samsung dealer. In Bermuda, it's Copyfax Limited, 96 North Shore Road. They service what they sell.
Outlast any storm with the most advanced alkaline battery. This weather segment is brought to you by Duracell Quantum.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's VSB weather forecast. Temperatures for today, we had a high of 86 at 3 in the afternoon and a low of 81 at 7 in the morning. Currently, it is 82 degrees, humidity 85%, winds are blowing out of the west at 20 knots, and barometric pressure is unsteady at 30.01 inches. Rainfall index for the month of August, really wet month, 12.61 inches for a yearly total of 43.29. Yearly normal for this time is 36.61 inches. Taking a look at the satellite. Hurricane Cristobal continues to move away to our distant north, but residual moisture will keep a couple of showers in the area tonight and again late Friday night into Saturday morning. High pressure then slowly builds in for the remainder of the holiday weekend with mainly dry conditions and light winds. For those of you who are traveling, Atlanta, partly cloudy, 93. Boston, mostly sunny, 72. Charlotte, mostly sunny, 91. London, cloudy and 70. Miami, mostly cloudy, 91. New York, 79, mostly sunny. Orlando, 95, mostly cloudy. Philadelphia, 82, mostly sunny. Toronto, 68 and cloudy. And Washington, 85 degrees and partly cloudy. And back at home tonight, partly to mostly cloudy with a shower or two, low near 78. Winds westerly 20 to 25 knots with gusts up to 35 knots. Then it's going to decrease to 12 to 18 knots. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a late night shower or two, high near 84. Winds westerly 10 to 15 knots, then veering west-northwest 8 to 12 knots, and then veering again northerly late night. Marine tonight, small craft warning, seas inside the reef 1 to 2 feet, seas outside the reef 6 to 12 feet, and the sea surface temperature is 81 degrees. Marine tomorrow, the small craft warning continues through the morning, seas inside the reef 1 to 2 feet, seas outside the reef 5 to 9 feet, low tide will be at 5:27 in the morning, and high tide will be at 11:48 in the morning. And taking a look at the 5-day forecast. Saturday, sunny periods with a couple of morning showers, high near 82. Sunday, partly cloudy with a possible shower overnight, high near 83. For the Labor Day holiday, Monday, mix of sun and cloud with a high near 85. And Tuesday, mix of sun and cloud with a high near 85. Thank you to Rob Howlett, our meteorologist for tonight, and everyone at the Bermuda Weather Service. I'm Rachel Sodden. Have a great evening.
Outlast any storm with the most advanced alkaline battery. Today's weather forecast was brought to you by Duracell Quantum.
The defunct broadcasting stations have more diverse programming than any other broadcasting company in Bermuda.
Mix 106. Bermuda's best hits. Mix 106.
One of the stations of the defunct broadcasting company.
Recapping our headlines, Human Rights Commission strives to protect the mentally ill from discrimination. British motorcyclist killed in crash with Bermudian driver has been named by UK police. And royal couple from Serbia are criticized for holidaying in Bermuda by their national newspaper. Thanks for tuning in to the TV 11 News. Good night.
Peter Cattell's attire courtesy of A.S. Cooper & Sons Limited. Wardrobe and makeup for Rachel Sorden, provided by Gibbons Company.
Vsb TV 11, Bermuda.